what my advice to everyone would be: seek the Most High so strong to where you know exactly what His will is for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I could project His will for me on you, but that might be different for you versus what it is for me. Now, some of the things that He revealed to me, I would tell people, I can just tell you this: America is about to be destroyed.
That's you asked me what pulled me here. I got in my intuition. My intuition is telling me this is where progress is, and that is declining fast.
Ascension, descension,
right?
Literally. But it's what our people don't understand, and a part of it is it's like when you're used to things never being what is about to come. You like even though we see all the signs, right? I love this analogy, but it's like the frog in the pot. You turn up the heat a little bit at a time. He just keeps adjusting until he boils to death.
Right, and how they get you in America is the distractions. I mean, you can't even digest one piece of information before the next drama pops up. Like 1 minute it's the Balenciaga, the next minute it's this, the next minute they're like, oh my gosh, Kanye is this, is that. You can't keep
it's constant. But see, you gotta be like, a lot of our people in the community thought the whole Kanye thing was a distraction, but it actually was the Most High. The Most High uses everyone.
No, not him being a distraction completely.
I know they used him as a distraction, but I'm just saying that Kanye's biggest moment of his entire career, where he stopped everything for a month and a half. I literally wrote it. He had everybody having a conversation about who the true children of Israel is.
And honestly, yes, that's what I mean. Like, they will distract you by showing you the truth. Like, somebody expose the truth, and then they distract you with all this other stuff.
Then pull you away from
exactly. Like, that's how media controls people.
You just said it's literally sorcery. Broadcasting.
Exactly. Hey you guys, I'm Lala's Journey, and today I'm here with
Mooney Music.
And we are both here from Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh wow.
So
and Lala's Journey.
I haven't chatted with you because I wanted things to look organic and feel organic. So how long have you been here in Ghana?
I've been in Ghana all year.
Really?
All year I've been in Ghana.
For 1 year?
No, all year. All Roman calendar year 2023.
Oh.
So it sounds long.
So what brought you to Ghana?
Actually what brought me to Ghana was the Most High, just to be honest. I originally went into Egypt and ended up in jail in Egypt as soon as I landed. So that's a whole nother testimony.
Okay.
Those of us here on Moon Music TV, y'all kind of know. But then after that, the desire was to come to Ghana because I knew someone selling land. So that is what brought us to Ghana.
So what brought you to Africa? You said you were in Egypt first. What brought you there? What was your story there? What was your experience?
Man. So we're gonna go on that road. Let's go on it. For your channel's sake, all praise to the Most High. I went to Egypt. It just so happened that the previous Passover, which is around March, right? The previous Passover, me and my family were supposed to visit Egypt, right, for Passover. Okay. And so some things end up happening. Basically, we missed the flights. There was a situation. I was on a trolley bus. I parked the car when I was
trolley bus.
Yeah, or a bus. Well, you know what I mean. Whatever it is, how they get you from domestic to international.
Oh, okay, got
it. I parked the car and then I jumped on this bus, right? And so there was an issue with the bus that delayed me. So by the time I got there, they had just closed up and said, "Hey, y'all can't make your flights."
Why?
I guess the time had extended for whatever it was. How they got to get you through your checking your bags and all that good stuff. Yeah, so they wouldn't let us go. And it's crazy because the day before I had just preached a message called Count It All Joy. So it was like, yo, what do you mean? You telling us you can't rebook our flights? It was like, yo.
Yeah, that's what happened to me when I came here.
For real?
Yeah, they couldn't rebook my flight. I had to buy a whole nother flight. Well, not a whole nother flight because it was 2 of us. So I had to pay $400, but it's still like, what the heck? Exactly. Yeah, so what happened overall after that?
So what they ended up doing was basically giving us a credit, right? So we didn't go into Egypt then. So fast forward 9 months later, which is significant to me. Like when I started paying attention to things on a deeper level, the Most High kind of explains it. You know how long it take to birth a baby? 9 months. 9 months. So exactly 9 months later, we are getting ready to actually move to Africa, and we have this credit to fly back into Egypt. From those previous flights. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, we got to fly to Egypt. We got to use this credit. You feel what I'm saying? And so we fly into Egypt and literally going through the last checkpoint. You know, they tell me I have bullets in my bag, and from there I go to jail for 3 days.
What you doing with bullets in your bag? Did you?
I do not know if I actually had the bullets in my bag, but you know, we are Americans. We are from America, and I did have a lot of guns in America. So,
so you think it just was in there, like
could have been in there, lost track of it.
Oh man!
But then again, the way they were moving, which I go into all these details in my book that will be out soon about the whole experience and testimony, but the way they were moving still leaves up to question if they were even on some extra stuff. You feel what I'm saying? Because so it was all about money. It was all about money. And there was a lot of money taken from me.
Oh my God.
Not just what they cause and pay. It would be like, all right, give me. Total, probably about $2,000.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Whew. So, what happened after? Like, did they lock you up?
I was locked up for 3 days.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's the worst. I've been locked up before. I've been locked up for like 24 hours. It was the worst.
Yeah. In America. It felt like 24 months, though.
Yeah. You get out and run out of there like a runaway slave.
Yeah, and you know, unfortunately / fortunately, being someone, this is not a good thing, people. Understand what I'm saying? But, you know, I've been to jail before. You know what I'm saying? So it's like going in, it's like, and I know this is sad, but every young brother who knows and who been into it, we understand.
Yeah.
That when you're going through this process and you come to the realization, I'm going to jail.
Yeah. It's just like,
you have to shift into a different
mindset. Right.
Different mode. It for me, it was even different here. But the blessing is knowing that He'll never put more on me than
you can handle. Right.
Exactly.
You really got to get to that point. And especially if you're coming to Africa as, you know, someone from the West, from Babylon, like you really have to prepare your mind to have complete faith that everything's going to turn around no matter what, you know?
Faith is the currency of the kingdom.
Exactly. And if you don't have it, He's going to prepare you for it.
He's going to put you in a situation where only faith can get you out of, which is going to produce more
fruit.
Faith.
And faith, food.
Same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's all, but and I hope people really understand when we say that faith is the currency of the kingdom. You can't purchase nothing in the kingdom without having faith.
Exactly.
If you look at every miracle that the Messiah did, you had to have faith.
So, do you think that faith was what you learned from that challenge?
Honestly, I actually looked at it as a beautiful testimony.
Yeah.
And almost like a reward to be His servant and to experience something, because, and I have to let your people know this part of the testimony. Going in there, I end up meeting a brother who has practiced Islam his entire life. And through this encounter of him coming into jail, which he came in after me, he came on my second day there. And him being the only person. Now remember, everybody spoke Arabic, so I'm in this, and I can't even talk to the officers. I can't even talk to other inmates.
So he was like your only
he was the only person that came in and
communicate.
He spoke fluid English and fluid Arabic. And by the time I was being released, this brother, and even now, because we still talk daily, this brother is considering switching his faith to what I call the way, what I believe. Yeah. So it was an assignment the whole time.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was an assignment.
Crazy. Yes. You know, coming here to Africa at first, I thought I have the most faith. I'm faithful. Like I believe, you know, things are. But you really gonna be tested. Like, do you really have faith? Because I've been tested like the whole year that I was in East Africa. Because I started in East Africa. So how long did you stay in Egypt?
I was in Egypt
after you got out.
Maybe 3 days.
So yeah, you didn't stick around after.
Nah. But the very next day, which you see on my channel, because we have a series called the Ascension series, where we kind of you'll see all of that. But the very next day, we went, and literally the next day, I get out towards the end of the day. I get a chance to sleep. You know, away from a jail in a bed for the first time in 3 days.
Full sleep,
Yep. Wake up the next rising, and literally the whole day we toured all the pyramids and all of this. So it was this polar flip. It was so surreal.
Yeah, they go from jail to seeing the
like,
that's crazy. So, would you live in Egypt? What was your experience in Egypt? Do you see yourself?
Egypt, I think the thing that disconnected me from it was it's just not our people there. You feel what I'm saying? It's
colonized completely.
It's Arabia. And I mean, when you do you do the due diligence on the history with the Arab conquest. That is how Egypt became predominantly, you know, the Arab descendant.
Is that why they got mad when Kevin Hart said that they're black?
He said that. Right?
Yeah, and they disowned him. Like they want to cancel him because they said that he called them black, and they were like, "We're not black."
Wow. Well, the real Egyptians
are black, right?
Or actually, a lot of real Egyptian descendants are here in Ghana.
Right. We've all migrated so much, you know. Since.
I don't even know if it would be a migration.
So where did you do your ancestry? Where are you from?
It definitely puts you in West Africa. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you know, it try to do the little different.
So what percentage is Ghanaian and?
I didn't really pay attention to the percentages, nor did I really.
Really?
Nah, it did. The reason why I say
the highest.
Nigerian.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Hey brother, that's why we connected. But I think most people from America are from Nigeria or Ghana.
Well, we're Hebrew. You feel me? And that's what I wanted to go into it. So, and I know you was familiar with Pastor Darby, right?
Yes.
So, if you go back to when there was this big breakthrough in DNA, right, that proved the E1B1A people were the true Hebrew people, right? So this was a huge thing with the Limbas, with the Bantu. What's the other major one? But anyway, these different certain tribes or whatever that we all derive from, those of us who were dispersed during the transatlantic slave trade. But to make a long story short with it, after this breakthrough, there's a company called BlackRock that is owned by Bill Gates and a couple other partners. They bought up all your Ancestry.coms, all your 23andMe, all of the DNA places.
So you can't really trace it.
It's not trustworthy. You
can't trust the source. Because honestly, like before I even got the DNA results, which is 44% Nigerian, it changes sometimes. 44% Nigerian, 17% Ghanaian, and then 16% Bantu. So
you're Hebrew,
right? So you know, before I even got the test, like before I even got the results, I've always had Nigerian men try to like wine and dine me. Like they just see something, they can see something they can connect with, I'm guessing. And then I've always connected with Nigerian women as friends. And like every time I come around, they're like, are you Nigerian? Are you not? When I came here the first time, they were like, this guy ran up to me. He was like, are you Nigerian? Because, you get excited to see your own people. So the fact that it told me that I was 44% Nigerian, I was like, it just confirms it. Everything else.
I get the same thing. Just being in different places in Africa, they always assume that I'm Nigerian because of just the features. Like even when you look around Africa, and I know you have Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Those were the three descendants, which Abraham descendants come from Shem. So you can see the difference, even though Ham and Shem are both melanated people. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can see the difference in our features and just how we move, some of our behaviors, even when it comes to just the natural athleticism and different things that Abraham's seed have been blessed with versus the difference.
Yes, yeah. So what is the main difference between living in America and living here? Like, what is something you had to really adjust to?
Well, when I first got to Ghana, I think the water was off for like 3 days. Those type of things, you'd be in a restaurant, right? You'd be in somewhere that's like, I'm going to name a good spot, like an Applebee's back home, where they watching the game, they got all of that. Yeah. And then the power will flick off and flick back on. And nobody budges because it's normal. But if that happens in the States, everyone's like, hold on,
exactly.
What's going on? So,
exactly.
So those differences, those different little things, you have to adjust to. What about you?
For me, it's the same thing. The power outages. Oh my gosh, the power outages has taught me so much patience because it's like literally nothing you can do. I've even prayed to God, like, God, please turn on the light right now, and it's like, nope, you can't do anything. It's there to teach you patience. So I just have to sit and wait. And usually, I realize when I start to like not even think about it, start laughing and enjoying myself without the power shuts right back on. Exactly.
So it's literally, this to me, I believe those of us who the Most High has called out, it is teaching us how to be better humans. It is teaching us a level of patience, a level of humility, and to detach ourselves from a lot of things that the West can spoil you in, right? Yeah. Or a lot of things that the West does to taint us. We don't realize taints us. Like, even with sports, I like I said, me and the wife had went and was having a bite to eat. And all the TVs was on soccer. I don't call it football. I love
nobody.
But that's not football to us. You feel what I'm saying? Football is football, but I understand. So I'm going to say soccer for the sake of both communities, right?
Right. So, that's like mainly the only sport that I see them even interested in.
Which is a blessing because in America, that is one of the biggest idolatries. It's sports. You see men, we would get more excited. We would get more in tune. We more dedicated to keeping up with somebody else's stats versus scripture. Right. They can tell you how many points he averaged, but can't tell you one scripture.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So the Most High pulling you into a situation where, hey, I'm not interested in soccer, and I'm probably never gonna be interested.
I used to play soccer.
For real?
Because my brother, but it's a Jamaican thing, really.
I can play.
We don't do it in America like that, but in Jamaica,
I played it a few times, and I'm pretty good.
I'm good. I like the challenge, so I eventually played basketball. But basketball is not even, people don't really talk about basketball in Africa. I mean, they talk about it, but it's not being like, people are not being coached. It depends. Rwanda, they have what is it? What's the sports team out there? They have a basketball team.
They do? I didn't know.
Rwanda. It's mostly in East Africa, though. Oh. Yeah, it's a NBA of.
Oh, so they have their own league.
Yeah, so they do it more because people are taller in East Africa. Yeah. So it makes sense. But here it's all about football.
It's all about soccer. That's why I see everybody tuning in.
Yeah, I want to promote more fitness here because I don't see a lot of women working out, when I go to the gym. But I really want to promote it because, you know, it helps you stay alive longer. It helps your immune system. So it's something that I'm really passionate about besides Pan-Africanism.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
let's get into a little bit of you, especially for those in here on Moon Music TV. I know a lot of people, they want to understand our experiences and some of the things we've been through, and even what called us out. What called you out of America to come here?
I say it's God, but even looking back, I can't tell you the messages he sent me when it did, because like our connection is so personal with God, you know. So it was definitely the Most High that called me out here, because at first I heard about Ghana in 2018, and I was like, Ghana, where's Ghana? I had no idea. And then I decided, let me look into it, and I started researching obsessively. And then I decided to come, and they embraced me. I felt at home. So that really, I think when I went to Jamaica is what pushed me coming here. When I visited my hometown for the first time since leaving when I was 9 years old. So visiting Jamaica after I was at the most successful point in my career just made me see, like, this is what I'm missing. Like this type of lifestyle, because I was successful with my online boutique in America, but you know, work with so many different celebrities and things like that, you know, and this is supposed to be like the American dream. But I just was not happy. And then when I visited Jamaica, I was like, I'm happy here. Even, you know, if I didn't have the most here, like I would still be happy because I feel embraced. You know, my family greets me with love, support, and then just even a community. So when I visited there, I was like, I would love to move here, but realistically is no real opportunity there because it's not Africa. Africa is huge. So then when I heard about Ghana, it's so similar to Jamaica. I was like, I definitely belong here. You know, like this is like the next best thing. And we really come from here too. So
exactly. Yes, we come from here. Like you said, we come from here. And I mean, when you do the whole Dungeon of Doom, Elmina Castle, I never went. You never went yet? Yeah, I just released when we went, and the guy who was doing the guide did an excellent job. But when you understand the scriptures and the history correctly, because they did try to erase us, which is Psalms 83. It says they will seek to cut us off from being a nation, right? And a part of that was actually replacing us. It's if the scriptures is what the scriptures is, and you know Israel exists, right? You can't just cut them off from existing, right? Right. But you can cut them off from knowing who they are and then replace them with somebody else, because you know somebody got to be there to play the role. Right. Feel what I'm saying? So that's what they did to us. But when you understand that, and man, like it's so much history here, and I do feel that Yah is calling us kind of on a backtrack to Israel. To true Israel. Even so where do you think Israel is. You think we're from Israel or somewhere in Africa? I do not believe that Israel is, or Yasharel, to be correct. I do not believe Yasharel is where they tell us it is. And there's no such thing as the Middle East when you do an accurate history lesson. The Suez Canal was created. What they call the Middle East is on the African tectonic plate. It's all the same thing. It's really Africa. You feel me? But they wanted to separate it. But even when you look at that, if you look at the scriptures, what the scripture says about the promised land, right? It says it's the best land. He said he was going to give Abraham the greatest land of all. And when you look at that, that is the best land with the most resources is Africa. Yeah. So why did you choose Ghana out of all the other countries? Well, like I was telling you before, there was a good friend here. Shout out to my sister Alita, who was selling some land. And I wanted to come check the land out. Once I got here and I touched down, I was like, okay, I know I need to sit for a while. So I don't know if Ghana is where I'm going to be 5 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. I know it's where I'm supposed to be right now. And so I'm one of those people who I understand my journey's changed. Like I said, I spent the last 2 years in Atlanta. Before that, I was in what's the name of it? Look, Asheville, North Carolina. Asheville, North Carolina for 2 years. You see what I'm saying? So the Most High just he be moving.
Yeah. I've been moving around too because I was supposed to come here in 1 year ago, and he changed the rules for the shot. So I was like, getting on my nerves. Like, so now I have to change route. And I went to not Tanzania, Rwanda, then Tanzania, then Nairobi, then Kampala. Oh my gosh. But honestly, every place has grown me. You know, like it's helped me mature and really be more prepared to be in Ghana specifically because honestly, there's not many differences. It's just the only difference is like culture, food, like the simple stuff. But Tanzania taught me survival skills. Rwanda taught me like, wow, they are resilient. Like if they can do this after what they've been through, I can do it too, And then you have Nairobi where they hustle. And then Kampala is just like kind. So they really like refresh my hope in Africa because after you leave Tanzania, like they oh my gosh, like they are hustlers. Like they don't care who you are.
It's
where
that
you're
way
from.
Here in Ghana, please. Don't
but they are on another level.
Yeah.
So it really helps you with like survival skills, knowing how to budget, knowing how to bargain, knowing how to do all of these things. So you really can't get anything past me now.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. You've seen it.
Thank you, Tanzania. I don't hate them. It wasn't the place for me, but every place teaches you something about
count it all
yourself.
Joy.
Yeah,
count it all joy.
Yeah. So far, what have you learned about yourself here in Ghana?
I can honestly say before even coming here, I've been through so many trials and tribulations. Like just getting into the 3 days in jail thing. Like I said, I had already through previous trials and tribulations. Y'all knew he could take me through there. He knew I could complete the assignment. He knew I would have a composure that situation wouldn't overwhelm me. Right? Yes. And so I can honestly say, if anything, it has literally solidified that I'm on the right journey, that I'm continuing to grow and move the way that I'm supposed to move within side of my purpose.
Okay, so do you think everyone should make the journey to Africa? Like all Black Americans, should they just come here? Not here, but Africa.
What my advice to everyone would be, seek the Most High so strong to where you know exactly what His will is for you. Now, I could project His will for me on you, but that might be different for you versus what it is for me. Now, some of the things that He revealed to me, I would tell people, I can just tell you this: America is about to be destroyed.
That's you asked me what pulled me here. I got in my intuition. My intuition is telling me this is where progress is, and that is declining fast.
Ascension, descension,
right?
Literally. But it's what our people don't understand, and a part of it is it's like when you're used to things never being what is about to come. You like even though we see all the signs, right? I love this analogy, but it's like the frog in the pot. You turn up the heat a little bit at a time. He just keeps adjusting until he boils to death.
Right, and how they get you in America is the distractions. I mean, you can't even digest one piece of information before the next drama pops up. Like 1 minute it's the Balenciaga, the next minute it's this, the next minute they're like, oh my gosh, Kanye is this, is that. You can't keep
it's constant. But see, you gotta be like a lot of our people in the community thought the whole Kanye thing was a distraction, but it actually was the Most High. The Most High uses everyone.
Not him being a distraction completely.
I know they used him as a distraction, but I'm just saying that Kanye's biggest moment of his entire career, where he stopped everything for a month and a half. I literally wrote it. He had everybody having a conversation about who the true children of Israel is.
And honestly, yes, that's what I mean. Like, they will distract you by showing you the truth, like somebody expose the truth, and then they distract you with all this other stuff.
They pull you away from
exactly. Like that's how media controls people.
You just said it's literally sorcery, broadcasting.
Exactly. So that's the issue. That's why I had to get out of America, because honestly, when you're there, you think about like, can I give up this convenience, my Amazon Prime, my this, my that? But now that I'm here, I'm like, you don't need that, because life isn't as fast.
It's literally taking from us.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you think we're people who are seeking to have a pure relationship, we're seeking to be exactly what he's called and desires for us to be. But when we watch Amazon Prime, right, everything on there is opposite of what his scriptures say we should be. Yeah, we're seeing situations of sin, right, where they're putting it in your face. How is that not in reverse going to take away from you?
I meant Amazon delivery.
Oh, you talking about delivery?
Like delivered to my doorstep, because I have a baby, so I was just like, can I give up this delivery? They deliver the diapers to my house, they deliver my groceries, but the groceries aren't even real. So I start to think like
that's a tough one. But like you said, we learn to adjust. We learn to adjust.
Yeah, exactly. And my whole life has prepared me to be adjustable. So this wasn't the most difficult thing, but I don't think everybody is made for this. I would say all at the same time. So I would suggest that all Americans come out here, all Black Americans, because you may not be at the same path in your journey as I am. But I do see that America is burning fast. So like you said, chase the Most High, because after a while it may be too late.
That's coming.
Exactly.
In the writing, it's clear. It's on the wall. I will say to my people who are there, this is not a joke. The war will happen.
It's already happening.
It's already happening. But it will happen to the level. It is World War III. It's not no baby situation that never reaches the land. Like when they did Afghanistan, or when they invaded Iraq and all of that. Actually, it's going to be the payment for a lot of the things that America has done, and a lot of the blood that is on her hands. So,
it's already war between the civilians. Like you have over 600 mass shootings from last year to the year before, 2021, 2022, over 600 mass shootings.
Let me ask you this. How many of those do you think the government were behind?
They behind it by giving them the guns. They give them the guns, like, shoot each other. Yeah. Just get it over with. I don't have to do it. You guys can do it to each other. Yeah. That's how you look at it. You think they're behind it by giving them the gun? Yeah. Why would you give mentally ill people a gun? Because they don't really do a good screening process. All these crazy people running around with guns.
And so that's been pushed pretty heavy in America. Though.
Right.
The point of view of where you coming, and then they say, let's take the guns.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's psychological warfare on a level. When you even go back to the amendment when it was written, and we know it wasn't written for us, but let's just go with it, right?
Yeah.
It was so that the civilian can protect themselves from a totalitarian government that does not have their best interests at heart. Right? You feel me? And so if you're a government that knows you want to put the people in a level of slavery that's greater than what you already have, because it's a mental, but you want it to be more physical, right? You can't do that with a bunch of people with a whole bunch of ways to defend themselves.
Exactly. Yeah. So now you think they're going to take the guns away?
Well, you see it. They every year there's an incident, then they'll be like, new gun laws, new gun rules. Yeah. And I think in every way, from freedom of speech to the right to bear arms, they have been slowly but surely dialing back the Constitution.
Yes. And did you hear about the 15-minute cities? They're going to make it where you just leave 15 minutes away from your house to go get groceries, go get this. But it's a form of control. Yeah. They just testing people to see how much can we control them and get away with before we lay down the law for real.
Exactly. And for all our people out there, just like she was saying, it all goes back to the scriptures. And if you are leading the world into a one world government, a one world rulership that is going to basically be the greatest bondage that has ever faced the earth, then you got to continue to slowly but surely in increments move the people in that direction.
Right. So you think it's going to be military law soon? Like martial law?
In America? 110%. I think it's going to be everything at once. The Most High gave me a prophecy in 2018. He said there'll be foreign troops on the land, Russian and Chinese. That was 2018. Just go to CNN. What do you hear? Conflict with China over Taiwan. We're already at war with Russia.
Yeah, and then they had that spy balloon.
Exactly. So we're already at war with Russia. He said that there would be a cyber attack that would hit the power grid, that would take all the power out of America. In 2021, in Atlanta, there was, in the East Coast, I don't know if you remember the gas, but they hit the gas. It was for a week we was having the gas, but it was a cyber attack, quote unquote.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So he gave me this prophecy in 2018, and all of these things have been occurring.
Exactly. I mean, I'm very intuitive, so that's really what pushed me to come to Africa, because my parents, they moved to America in 1996 when the Olympics was happening. And honestly, that was the smartest option for them to make, coming from Jamaica, because they opened a business. They just spotted progression. So they knew, like, this is when America's popping. Let's go. Let's make the money. Let's put our kids in a step ahead, you know, like put them in a good position. So they passed on from cancer, but you know, I'm here. And honestly, my dad was like, if you save up a certain amount of money, go to Ghana. He loved Ghana. He spoke really highly of Ghana. So he was like, just go if you save a bunch of about 10,000. I didn't wait till then. But
I'll say this too. I'm sorry to hear that about your parents.
It's okay.
My dad passed in 2019 from cancer. So.
I really feel like they're spirit guides. So I feel like they've been guiding me all the time, you know? So it's actually okay. But my dad gave me his blessing and I decided to come. But honestly, I'm thinking about my daughter. Like, where can I put her where I will be healthy, where where she can progress, where I can put her like a step ahead of the next generation.
So in the next phase of this conversation, I really want to get into that right there for the people, because there's a lot of single mothers who want to make this journey, but just the thought of trying to make that journey by yourself is just kind of terrifying. And they may be conflicted within their faith. Speak to them in this moment.
All it takes is faith, really. I have been transparent. So that's also helped me a lot, because, you know, it's not easy as a single mother, especially in America. And what I've realized here is I have way more of a community here around me. Like, people just help out so much with my daughter. Like, if she started a temper tantrum, literally a Ghanaian guy would just come and be like, hey, you pick her up and get her under control for me. Like, people look out for us. We can ask our neighbors for anything. People feed her, and when we were in Kampala, they feed her. Like, here they feed her. Like, it's love. So as a single mother, especially, I would say moving to Africa is like the smartest decision, because WIC, food stamps, any of that is not going to compare to the community that you receive when you come here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. How has the exchange been for you as far as allowing your money to go further?
It's literally faith, because I'm not rich, you know, I do not have a silver spoon. So just going one step at a time. Even now it's like a test of faith, you know, but I know, like, my daughter has never went a day without food and a full belly. So we're doing great. And I know that God's going to lead us further and further. And he has showed up for us the entire time. And God shows up through people. So once I've been transparent about my journey, like so many of my supporters have reached out to help me. And I also know some single mothers in Tanzania that's been honest about their situation. A friend of mine, she was abandoned in Tanzania by her Senegal or something. And people reached out to help her. Like, you know, this is like, just know you have a community, not just in Africa, but of people who are actually looking to move to Africa, and they may not have full faith, but they see it in you and they want to support you because they know that they're passionate about what you're passionate about as well.
Oh, praises to the Most High. Yeah. So that I think at the end of the day, like we said in the beginning of the interview, faith is the currency of the kingdom. The Most High is not limited, beloveds. The Most High is not limited. A lot of times we allow numbers to give us faith. We allow what we have at our bank account tells us whether we can do something or not. Beloved, that's not faith.
That's not faith. That's not faith.
You're choosing to serve that over him because you can't serve both.
Honestly, just the other day, I have to share. Because, I mean, people will be there along the way. Like, I have people talk to me, and literally, I'm like, this is God. You know? Because the other day, like, I'm just struggling to free up some money that I had. I couldn't figure out how to free the money up. And I had a limited amount of money in my wallet, in my MTN wallet. And I was paying for my pizza. And I accidentally sent 110 CDs to the wrong person. And he was like, and I was just like, oh my God, here we go again. And he was like, what are you stressing about? You have so much coming to you. Why are you getting so frustrated? Have faith. And I'm just like, you know what? This is what I've been struggling with the entire time that I've been here. Like, it's so easy to say you have faith, but in the little moments, he'll test you. In the bigger moments, he'll test you. And honestly, that's ultimately the goal. And I would never be like Jesus. I would never have, like, I don't think 100% faith, but that is always a test.
Well, see, that's what people were human, right? And he was human in the fact that he was in the flesh. If you go back to the Garden of Gethsemane, before he was about to get murdered, he constantly, he even yelled at the disciples for falling asleep, looking outward. See, he was in his feelings. You see what I'm saying? He was in his feelings. And he told the Father, he said, if there be another way, remember? He almost wanted to get out of that thing. So that's going to happen to us. Like you said, but you gotta know the voice of the Most High. That man wasn't speaking to you. That was Yah speaking to you through that man.